What's up, everyone? You are tuned in to episode 740 of the Pennsylvania Rock Show. You just heard from the Right On Warriors and their song Friday Night. Brand new song from Neostem called Avoidance Behavior, and MSJR and their song Spread the Love. We are coming on music from the 412.com, buildscene.com, megarockradio.net, 107.1 KFGD St. Louis, Rootaroo Radio in Texas and California, and of course xrpradio.co.uk in Scotland, the Highlands. With me tonight is Erik Winger. What's up, Erik?
What's up, Bill? How you doing, Bill? Thanks for having me, man.
You're welcome.
You said 720?
740.
740. I think I was with Brian. I was at one of your very first.
You were, well, you're still on the website,
right?
So
yeah,
I can probably get you a number. We'll do that live because why not?
No, it's crazy. I mean, that had to have been 15, 20 years ago. Yeah.
Let's see, you were on episode 40 of 3 Questions and a Song, but you were on really early on.
I was in studio with you.
Yeah. You were in, I'm still in that same room, just a much
amazing. Different
setup.
Fantastic. Well, I'm glad that you've had such great success. This is going on for 740 shows. It's amazing.
We actually last week and the week before we celebrated, it's been 20 years as of September 14th.
Wow.
And Brian hosted the very first show, and he was on last week's show.
That's awesome. Very cool. Well, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming on. So anyone who's not familiar with Erik is originally from Kittanning area. We were actually talking about sprinkles for those of you that are from Kittanning or Leechburg. There's one right down the street from me. And if you're not familiar, it's a supermarket.
Yeah.
So you're in Orlando. How long have you been there? I'm pretty sure you were living there when you were on the show the very first time.
It's a weird thing because like Kittanning is and will always be home for me. It's most of my family is here. I still have some family back home, but I have some of the best memories of my life there and so many friends still there. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful town. But believe it or not, I've lived in Florida now officially longer than I ever lived in Kittanning. I've been here since 1997 when I moved to Fort Pierce, Florida. And then Disney brought me to Orlando in 1998. And I've been here ever since.
I know you were doing, you worked for Disney, right?
I did. And I started at Disney in 98 and I sang in an a cappella pre-show to the Beauty and the Beast show at Hollywood Studios. And I did that for 10 years. And then 2013 to 2020, I played lead guitar and vocals at Epcot in a band called British Revolution. And then when COVID came and Disney closed down, they dropped our contract. And I still do some work out there here and there, but I'm not full-time employed there anymore.
Are you, this might be too personal, so you can tell me, you can just,
Sure.
So you were a musician, that was your career. Is that still what's going on for you, or did you have to?
Yeah. No, I when COVID came, like literally every booking I had in the books was canceled. So I collected unemployment for probably 2 weeks, but I'm not one to, if I can work, if I'm able-bodied and I can do something, I don't want to sit around and wait for somebody to take care of me. So I went out and got my license to sell insurance, which I did for probably about 9 months until the gig work started coming back. And as soon as I could leave that job, I did. So for the better part of, I mean, I was a middle school choir teacher for a few years, but for the better part of 27 years, I've been a professional musician full time. So.
Now, we've mentioned Brian a couple of times. You were in the a cappella group with Brian, correct?
I was. That's where I got my start in a cappella. That's where the a cappella bug was bitten. Brian and I have a long and storied bromance together. We met initially in minor league baseball. We were probably 7 or 8 years old. We played for a team called Fox. And then Brian went off and mostly did the soccer and the athlete thing for a while. And we reconnected in high school and with the high school musicals. And we just became best buds from that point on. And yeah, but the a cappella group, we got our start our senior year in high school. We were cast as the 2 members of the barbershop quartet and the music man, and it went over really well. And so the VFW and all these mother and daughter banquets around town, all these churches wanted us to keep singing after the show ended. So we kind of just took the ball and ran with it and did our own thing. And that lasted for quite a few years.
I'm trying to remember the name of it, but I cannot pull it out of my head.
We had several names. Our first name was, when we were strictly barbershop, we called ourselves the Travelin' Sheboynkins, which is a reference to the Traveling Wilburys and a obscene skit from Eddie Murphy. And then we changed our name to Distinguished Gentlemen.
That's the one I knew.
Yeah. And then we changed it one more time to Common Ground, but Distinguished Gentlemen was the name that really, for most of our career, that we used.
Now, when I'm gonna ask you this question, and we'll probably have to take our first break. And speaking of that, I should probably. Oh, I already did. I was gonna say I should mention who we listened to already, but I did that.
You did.
I did.
It's great.
I'm really bad at that. That's why I assumed I didn't. So can you pinpoint like that moment where you knew that this was going to be your career?
Nobody in my family were really musical, but they were big fans of music. And my dad would play Led Zeppelin, Beatles, Skinner, Van Halen, Styx. I mean, my first concert, I was in 3rd grade and I saw Styx on the Kilroy Was Here tour with my mom and dad. But I remember seeing like the album cover for Dynasty by Kiss and Love Gun from Kiss. And I was just blown away. Like it was like superhero monsters with great music. And I think by the age of 12, when I got my first drum set, I knew like I'd singular focus that for the rest of, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I got to figure out how to just do this for the rest of my life. So I knew pretty early on, it was nice to have that kind of realization and focus at such a young age, because so many people just don't. They go to college undeclared. They don't even know what they want to do. And I knew really early on. I was really lucky with that.
Along the same lines, but completely different. I figured out that I wanted to be a teacher when I was in 4th grade. And
that's awesome.
And I wanted to teach 4th grade, which wasn't how it happened originally, but I currently have 4th and 5th grade science classes. So
that's awesome. I'm sure your kids love you.
They appear to. Which
good.
Sounds kind of egotistical, but the other day we were doing school photos, and I went in to get my photo taken, and every kid that walked by was yelling my name, and the photographer's like, "You're like a superhero here." And I was like, "Yeah, kind of." She goes, "Almost like a rock star." I'm like, "Yeah, it's kind of cool."
Yeah, they call you Mr. D.
I get that, but they're pretty good with Damiano. When I taught the little kids, I had to teach them how to say Damiano. And right. I'm not going to do that while we're in the air. I'll show you when we're off the air. It's kind of funny.
That's a mouthful for little kids. Yeah,
it is. I did have a kid that called me Dami Animal. So, and that not on purpose. That's just what came out. But, all right. So, how about we'll take our first break?
All right.
We're going to listen to your song "Go" and also "Bones" off of your new album.
Awesome.
From new to me, but I believe you released it in March, correct?
March, right here. Bada bing. It's on all the streaming platforms, and yeah.
So we'll talk about that when we come back. And for those of you that are watching the video, I am about to give away some tickets courtesy of Dresky Entertainment, so stand by for that.
Right. Fun times.
What's up, everyone? It is Bill. I have lots of shows to share with you. I'm going quickly. Tonight, I'm giving away 2 tickets to April 1 and Borstal Boys at Jurgles, courtesy of Dressing Entertainment. Richie Kotzen with Blackridge and Super Monkey at Jurgles. Mushroom Head Upon a Burning Body, plus There Is No Us. My Decision at Preserving. Trace Lads at the Craft House Stage and Grill. Samantha Fish and Rough Records with Canned Heat. Bernard Allison, Mitch Ryder, Galileo Volt at Carnegie Homestead Music Hall. Nelson with Xander Damos. Post-Traumatic at Jurgles. Yngwie Malmsteen at the Oaks Theater. Exodus with Havoc, Candy, Dead Heat at Preserving. Justin Fabus with Borstal Boys at Craft House Stage and Grill. The Almond Betts Family Revival at Palace Theater. And the House Rockers Holiday Extravaganza featuring Joe Grushecki and the House Rockers, and an Iron City House Rockers reunion. All of that you can win tickets to by going to musicroom412.com/contests. Tonight's ticket giveaway for Dressy Entertainment is April Wine with the Borstal Boys, Sunday, September 29th, 7 p.m. Doors, 6 p.m. Early entry is at 5 p.m. It's 21 plus, and I had a bunch of people join me for this one. We had Michael Tutuolo, Tom Trainer, Kathy Janeski, Nikki Praza, Keith Laydig, and Tina Laydig. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and spin so we can find out who our winner is. And our winner is going to be Nikki Praza. Nikki, keep an eye on your email. You'll be receiving an email from both myself and Adam Valen explaining what is going on. Congratulations. I hope you enjoy the show. Okay, we are back for segment number 2 of episode number 740 of the Pennsylvania Rock Show. We just heard Erik Winger and his 2 tracks, Go and Bones, off of You Can Have All You Want. Erik is with me tonight as my guest. There he is.
What's up, everybody?
Hi, Erik. So now's our time to talk about the album.
Let's talk about
it. So I'm going to give you your MTV moment and let you do a storyteller on one of those songs. And
sure,
you know what that is. Some of the listeners may have no idea what Storytellers was.
Which song?
Well, I don't know. Which one would you like to talk about? Or you could do both if you want.
Well, so on this album, my first album, which I released in 2022, it's called Wanderlust. And basically the whole album is about boy finds girl, boy gets girl, boy loses girl. It's just all love songs. It's just 12 different varieties of love songs. And as I started to write this new album, like tapping into that emotion of love or lust is pretty easy, I think, for songwriters, but I wanted to purposely write about something that had nothing to do with that. And there's still a few love songs in the new album, but the majority of them are not. So that was kind of the inspiration. And when I wrote Bones, I was fascinated with kind of like the musical aesthetic of Imagine Dragons and some of their material. And I wanted to kind of get into the head of their songwriting process and try and write my own version of an Imagine Dragons song. So
that means that now I need to play for my kids because they really like Imagine Dragons. So
yeah, I think Bones was the first single that I released on the new album, and I shot a video for it, and it's been a pretty well-received song. So it's really kind of a self-empowerment song. And I remember driving in my car and just having like the melody come to me. And a lot of times I get a song idea, it comes in the form of a melody. And so I'll grab my voice recorder and I'll start singing nonsense syllables into the phone. And even when I was singing the nonsense syllables, I still just sang some of the words that actually ended up in the chorus, just stream of consciousness. And so I went back and checked it out, and I actually put that song together pretty quickly. Go is just a song like, I wanted a song that just to open the album that was like high energy, high octane. It's just about getting in your car, top down, radio blaring, driving as fast as you can. Listen to your favorite music. Yeah.
Those of us in Pittsburgh don't know what kind of weather you need for that top down thing.
Well, you've got about a 6-week period in the summer where you could do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do it year round down here.
I've been to Orlando once, and all I remember was it was really, really hot, and Disney was not fun with little kids when it was really hot.
Oh, no. Well, it's really hot, and it's the humidity, and I walked my dog at like 6:30 tonight, and it was still 87 degrees out. But like the good thing about Orlando is everywhere has air conditioning. You know, and it gets pretty hot in Pennsylvania too.
It does,
but not everywhere has air conditioning. So I think you can stay pretty comfortable. You just stay inside.
Well, when we were there, we went to Disney in, I want to say it was June. It was 90 degrees with a heat index of 99 degrees, and everything is blacktop.
Yep.
And it was not pretty for that week.
And lots of walking too at the theme parks. Of course.
Yes. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now, for those of you that are watching the video, you can see Erik's website address below him. It's erikwinger.com, ERIK Winger.
Yes, like the Vikings. Yeah.
And we're going to actually pop up his website, and Erik and I are going to be in the corners just describing it for those of you that are on the radio side and can't see it. But Erik, while I have it pulled up, it does have an area where you can order your new album, and also if you scroll down a little further, you can order Wanderlust as well. But is there anything else on here that you would like to point out, like joining your mailing list and like?
Yeah, I think for independent artists, a big way that we can be supported in a way that really costs you nothing is to, if you have Apple Music, follow us. Follow us on Spotify. Go to YouTube, subscribe. That really helps. Sign up for the mailing letter and be first to know about shows. You'll be the first to get maybe discount codes on merchandise. I also have some merchandise. All my music is currently on all streaming platforms, but you can order physical copies as well. And there you go. That takes you to the merch page. They have some shirts on there. Yeah, look at that.
This is the first time I've done this. You get to be the official first person to sit on their website.
There it is. Yeah. So, and all that stuff is great. Any kind of support is great, but it's really just simply subscribing, following, being, watching the content we put out there, getting our views up really helps us. So.
Is there, besides erikwinger.com, is there any, do you have a link tree or any of those things where?
I have a link tree. It's just that link tree and then my name, but all it will do will lead you to
back to your website,
my Instagram, TikTok, website, Spotify, probably. Yeah.
Okay, so I haven't asked you any of my off the wall questions yet.
Bring them. Those are my favorite.
We're going to do one of those, and then we're going to take another break, and I'm going to hit you with a few more of those.
Sure.
So I did not ask this question in the last 2 episodes because it's kind of the person that I used to inspire the question is kind of in the news and not for good things. I think you know who I mean now.
Mr. Combs.
What's that? No,
P. Diddy?
No, not P. Diddy.
Okay, then now I'm going to think a big thing again. Go ahead. I'll keep thinking.
So the question is, who's your Dave Grohl? See, now you got it. And really what I'm asking you is, who would you want to go up on stage with and perform one of their original songs?
Oh, man. if I could share the stage, I'd have to say I can't answer one person. If I had to share the stage with anybody, I would love to sit beside Billy Joel on his piano bench and duet with him on Baby Grand, which he did originally with Ray Charles. I would love to sit on the stage and just sing the pages of the phone book with Steve Perry, for sure. And of course, Kiss. Anything with Kiss would be great.
Yeah. We're going to touch on that Kiss thing too in the next segment.
All right.
So we're going to take another break, and we're going to listen to the Eds and their song Mr. Mouth Breather.
So there's more than one Ed?
So
and they put a band together?
So I'm not real familiar with them. I just got their music yesterday.
Okay.
But I think they're like late teens, early 20s. And
good.
I do know the song Mr. Mouth Breather was written about one of them being in a fight in high school.
Okay.
And that's as much as I know right now.
I love it already.
And then we're also going to hear from the band that recently won the best new album in the Trib Live voters poll, sort of like the singer-songwriter best of Orlando that we haven't touched on yet. But
awesome.
So we're going to listen to those two songs, and we will be right back. Hey, so we are back for segment number 3. Those of you that are hanging out with us, I see some people on YouTube, some on Twitch, nobody on Kick. That one's taken a while. We have some Facebook viewers. We're using OneStream Live. If anyone is not familiar with that, there is a link on my website that if you're looking to do some live streaming, you can click on that link. It's an affiliate link. It would help us. Also, if you're on Facebook and you want to share some stars to show some support, that would be awesome too. We recently were upgraded to being able to make some money on this, which I don't do, but so with me tonight, there we go, Erik. Erik
Come on,
Winger.
Kick. Look at that. Come on, Kick. Let's get those numbers up.
So here's the thing, like the live numbers aren't great because I do it at 9 p.m. and people are winding down for the evening, but like. Yeah. There are videos on Facebook from last week's Facebook video has 463 viewers.
Awesome.
And then we have all the radio streaming that happens throughout the week, and we're on Roku, and so there are a lot of viewers, just not necessarily when we're live.
Well, that's kind of the nature of things anymore, right? Like network TV, do they even have a TV schedule? Because nobody watches anything when it's on. They just watch it when they want to. That's great.
Yeah, and with music from the 412, we have an on-demand app, which is, it's just like Netflix, except you can go and watch our programs that we create, and you can watch local. It's like MTV. We play music videos from local musicians. So if you want to submit your video, you could do that and go to musicfrom412.com/submissions.
I got a bunch of them. I'll send them to you.
For sure. And I'll make sure Rocky gets them added for you. It might take them a little while, but they'll end up on there.
Do you need the video sent to you, or could you use a YouTube link, or how does it work?
We'll talk about it off the air real quick before I go edit. but you can send the YouTube links and the submission form. It's just like the submission form that you did to send music to me.
Cool.
It's the exact same jot form and in fact they're on the same account. So anyway, if anyone wants to submit music to Pennsylvania Rock Show, go to buildscene.com/pars PARS -submit. PA Rock Show pars. Anyway, so I said that we weren't going to talk about your drumming gig, but we're going to talk about your drumming gig.
Talk about it. It's a lot of fun.
So Erik Winger, not Erik Singer, plays the drums dressed as Peter Criss. Yeah. And go.
No, I get a lot of people at shows that ask me if Erik Winger is a stage name while I'm in the full Catman makeup, and I say no, because I'm not portraying Erik Singer, I'm portraying Peter Criss. But yeah, it's the greatest thing ever. Like, I've been playing with this band, Kiss Alive, the tribute, since 2019, and it's a lot of fun. It's every guy in the group is just top notch. We've got an amazing stage show. We actually played the Fort Armstrong Folk Festival this year. Yeah, and as somebody that's gone to the Folk Festival every year, I've never seen a crowd that size, and it was really cool to do that for the hometown crowd. It was actually the first time I've come back and performed in Kittanning since I left. Yeah.
Did you also play at Edgewood Winery recently?
We did. We played there 2 summers ago. That was a fun time. Yeah, Laura and the crew out there were really great to us, and we had a good time. Yeah. It was right. We were the first act to use the new stage.
That's what I was going to say. I thought it was right around the time that they put the new stage out.
And we breathed fire right to the roof of it. It was great. Massive fireball.
I'm sure they were a little worried.
No, actually, they were like, because the wood wasn't treated, and he literally blew it up. And there's a photo where you see the flame spreading across the top, but it dissipates like that. And I said, "Are you worried that?" He's like, "Nah." He just stood off to the side of the stage with a fire extinguisher, and we were fine. So it was great.
So back, I'm going to ask another unofficial Build a Scene question.
Sure.
And this one is, being a musician, what is the best pizza you've had because you're a musician?
Best pizza? Wow. I'll probably disappoint you with this answer. I love pizza. I don't eat a whole lot of it because I hate cheese of all kinds. So when I eat pizza, I order it without cheese. So like, I've had some great like thin crust New York style pizza. I've had the great deep dish Chicago pizza.
Oh, how do you do Chicago without cheese? That's like,
it's just a big, massive pizza sauce toppings cake. It's delicious. I love it. Yeah, I love pizza. I just don't eat it as much because of the cheese. But
yeah,
what's your favorite?
So there's a place here, you know where Nazers is?
In Leechburg?
It's that considered Apollo? You know where the Apollo Bridge is?
Yes.
It's right there. It's
okay.
Nazers is another grocery store. We're just going to promote all the grocery stores in the area. And
let's go.
But right in that area, it used to be a gas station, and now I think it's called Four Brothers. And they do ATV and off-road sales, but their father owns a couple businesses, and he owns Route 66 barbecue and wood fire pizza. And they have,
that's good.
They have 2 food trucks that are set up there permanently. One is where they do the wood fire, and the other one is where they sell the barbecue out of. And I really, really like their wood fired pizza. And I'm not just saying that because I do their website. It's just really good.
It's good. Good is good, man. Yeah, that's awesome. Sounds delicious.
There, and then what have I had? There's a I'm really into the wood fire, and that's recent for me. I had not tried it before. There's one.
Everything cooked on a flame is better, I think.
Yeah, there's one in Lower Borough called Gus Franco's. That I think I've only had it once, but it was really good. And they recently did a day where all the pizzas they sold went to a family from Lower Borough who had lost their house to a fire. And I got there like 40 minutes after they started, and they had sold out of everything they had that day, which was awesome.
Very cool.
All right, so let's say you're sitting on a bench. We're going to reverse Forrest Gump here. You're sitting on a bench, and your musical idol comes over and sits down beside you, and you want that idol to talk nonstop like Forrest Gump did. What question are you going to ask them to get them started? And who is it?
Wow. I would say, if I could talk, because I would probably want to meet Steve Perry from Journey. A friend of mine had an encounter with him. He's an opera singer, my friend. And Steve was fascinated with asking my friend questions about vocal technique, because Steve esteemed an opera singer with such a powerful voice and all that training to be far better than he was. So I would try and pick his brain about what inspired him vocally, like how's he get that sound, any technique that he uses that he's aware of, anything. I mean, he could read the telephone book to me and I'd be happy. So wouldn't take much to make me happy.
So I'm going to ask you two more quick questions, and then I'm going to let you go off into the evening. The first one is, what's coming up next for you?
Great question. So I've put together a live band of straight up assassins. We've been on the road a bit promoting this, and just getting ready for some more dates. Kiss Alive's got a busy next couple of months. And I'm already writing album number 3. I've got about 3 song sketches that are far enough along that I know they'll be finished, and I really like how they're turning out so far. So just for me, it's more music, finding more opportunities to promote original music on the local scene, and then kind of trying to expand outside of the Orlando area and build a bigger fan base everywhere else.
So along those lines, I'm changing my last question.
Okay.
So if someone from the Pittsburgh area headed down to Orlando and they were looking for a venue to play, where would you point them?
There's several good ones. It is there's something about this place that's just fun. There's a place we've played there in Sanford, Florida. It's called The Alley. It's this dingy little kind of bar / club. It's not very big. The stage isn't very big, but the room just has such a good vibe for rock and roll. And they have national acts that come through. It's kind of a historic place. They've had a lot of great players on that stage. That would be one place.
Kind of sounds like Moondogs.
Probably, but probably smaller. I mean, it's tiny.
Moondogs is in why can't I think of the name of it? It's right along 28. It's by In Stuff Music, which used to be pianos and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And
I used to buy everything I owned. It. I can't call it In Stuff Music. It's pianos and stuff forever.
Well, they kept the in.
Yeah, the In Stuff. Yeah. But I would say there. I would say it's a great place downtown called the Abbey. Then there's House of Blues is a great venue in town here. Hard Rock Live's a great venue. So lots of great rooms to play.
Very cool. Before I move on, I do want to point out that Above My Head are the sponsors of Build a Scene Radio.
Yeah.
We've been watching those flash by throughout the show. That's a first that they've been there all show. I'm going to try and get them out there more, but this First Angel Media, Noble Hops Band, Freeport Events Center, Endeavor After, which is a t-shirt company, Rattleclack Entertainment. I'm forgetting some, which is terrible, but there's a bunch of them. Go to Build a Scene. Oh, Shady Lady Studio, the Band Jam, which is 97.7 The Rock Station out of Butler, and Shady Lady Studio. There it is, right there. And the Grassroots Show. There's a whole bunch.
Awesome.
But
Way
check
to go,
them out.
sponsors.
And Eric, I want to thank you for hanging out with me on episode 740.
Thank you so much, Bill. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Good to see you again.
And everybody make sure you head out to erikwinger.com, ERIKWINGER.com for those of you on the radio side. And I have one more song for you tonight. It is from 3 Leagues to Rome. It's called, if I could read my writing, Dying Day.
All right.
But, all right, guys, make sure you tune in each and every week. Next week, we have Jared Grease, formerly of the band Hybrid, also transplanted somewhere else. He is in Nashville, so we're going to see what he's been up to. And we will see you next week.